everyone, welcome to Moment Z, the show for the young, hip, and cool kids. I'm Amanda Dara, and here with me are my girlfriends, Lumi and Lisa.
Hey, boo.
Lumi, you look awesome.
Boo.
Well, you have just been looking awesome back to back.
No, when they born you with a certain star,
girl,
you have to shine.
Okay, just stop. But I have to say though, you do look amazing.
Thank you.
I love your top. I like how playful it is.
Yes, this is actually me. This is me.
Amanda, this tomboy.
No, this is not
Please,
tomboy
you're not.
now, you guys. This is not tomboy. This is just comfortable. I like to call my style comfortable.
What's on the top now? What's written on the thing?
I have no clue. I want to tell you guys of my inspiration of the day. He is Nick Vujicic.
I don't like watching his videos.
Yeah, look at this video.
No.
Wow. Surfing, skydiving.
My doctors never thought that I'd be able to walk, and today I'm walking.
Don't be afraid to work, don't be afraid to try, don't be afraid to network, and don't be shy. Go out and try, and you never know who you may inspire along the way.
Oh, she's crying.
No, I don't like watching.
Oh my God.
Are you crying?
No, I'm just teary-eyed. Stop it! Stop it! I'm just, I don't know. I'm
so cute.
Get away from me.
I really inspired you.
I'm just a very empathetical person, so I just, man.
It is deep actually, because it's so amazing to know all the things he can do. I mean, skydive, surf, speak in front of 1,000 people, thousands of people. I just feel like when you watch stuff like that, it gives you a new perspective of life and how you should be grateful for all you have and know that I can do a lot with what I have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, his struggle is the reason why he's on such a huge platform, because of everything he's been through. He can tell that story to others and make people cry. Like you.
No.
Like, I don't know, I'm just...
So cute.
All right, so on to today's topic. Today on the show, we are talking about dealing with failure. You know, Michael Jordan, who's known as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, in an interview said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game's winning shots, and I missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." That is crazy. That is just like...
I see a hard worker right there.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And I like the fact that he mentioned all of his failures and said that is why
he succeeds.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
That
he
is
keeps
why.
trying.
Yeah. But I think from that, it's like failure is like a stepping stone to success.
I think
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
what is iconic here is the fact that he actually remembers how many times he has failed.
He said failure is a stepping stone to success. I'm not sure I buy that, because it's not all the time that failure leads to success.
Yeah, it depends on
Up
how
to
you
you.
view it. Because some people fail and stay there, fail and get depressed, fail and get on drugs and just finish, basically.
What
But
I even mean is that I feel like sometimes failure is telling you that you need to do something else. Something different. That's my opinion. You know, yeah.
It's a stepping stone, I think, but it depends on how you view it.
Yeah, but I think a
So
lot of
how
people
do you deal with failure, which is what we're talking about?
Yeah, but I think even before we deal with it, some people run away from it because they're afraid to take risks. So they don't want to deal with failure in the first place, so they'd rather not go
Not
there.
even try.
I think a lot of people are just so afraid to take risks that
I agree
they
with
don't
you.
even...
But if you don't do that, then you'll never get to the other side.
Yes, that's the thing.
Okay, I think we should actually add someone to this conversation. When we return, we'll be joined by a rapper, and perhaps we'll hear some bars on how to deal with failure. Chicka, chicka, chicka. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, guys. I am just about to introduce our first guest. His name is Onyeka Nweze, and he is a 21-year-old rapper.
Rapper!
You know, it's so
What's
funny
up?
because like, you don't even look at the average rapper that we know, because he's like wearing trad, he's
Yes.
wearing glasses.
Before
looks
we
like
continue, can you just drop 2 bars?
Onyeka is a good rapper.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
You, Sam.
No, but really,
2 bars.
2 bars. So, we're talking about failure.
As a rapper, Have you failed before?
As a human being, have you failed before?
Yeah.
That's the problem. You target failure when it's the end result. I believe I've attempted so many times to do so many things. Anything you put time and effort into definitely gives you a result. But now, when you take what you get as your result, as the end result, now if it's bad, you failed. If it's good, you're happy. So, yes, I would say I've attempted so many times and I haven't gotten what I wanted. So, yeah, I failed. But then,
You call it an attempt.
I call it an attempt.
Exactly.
I won't take it as the end result. I'll move on. And,
This is
you
a
know.
new approach. I've
Yes,
never,
like
I've never heard this.
So if your
thought before.
attempt does not work out, because we're not using the word failure, what do you do?
Try something different. Take it in. You have to take it in at first. You have to accept that, okay, this didn't work. You have to accept that. And then when you do that, you review, like, okay, what happened? What went wrong? Or what should I do differently? And then when you see what went wrong, or you see how you could adjust whatever you want to work on, you try again.
You might not necessarily even try something, and you're already feeling like a failure.
Well, in retrospect, I'll also say that failure is when you haven't even tried at all. You don't have
Why?
to try. The
That's
lack,
another
Depends-
form of
depends
failure,
on-
I'd
of
say.
trying is a failure.
I think I get
Do you
that.
understand? The fact that you haven't tried means you have failed.
No, give us an instance. I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
I mean, say for example, like you're comparing yourself to all your friends on social media who are out there doing businesses and stuff, and you have all these great ideas, and you're just out in your house feeling like, oh my God, look at Amanda, look at this guy. We're all in school together. Look how far they've gone. But like, honey boo, you haven't even written a business plan.
Exactly.
Honey boo, you haven't. Do you understand what I'm saying? You haven't talked to anybody. You haven't tried to network. Are you reading books to invest in yourself? Do you understand what I'm saying? And you're out there feeling like I failed. Honey, you haven't even tried.
But for you now, have you ever had that kind of emotion at all? Now, you were talking about attempts and not getting your result. But have you ever had that emotion, that
Why are
state
you
where like...
smiling like
Has it
Of course,
been
like,
smiling?
yeah, of course, definitely.
And how was it
definitely.
for you?
It was wonderful because I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it was even, okay, funny enough, I had this, okay, I was going for this audition for the governor. My friend told me, my friend told me, you're tall, you should go do that. And I was like, okay, I think I'll give this a try. Let my face be there at least. If not using my face be there. And after days of rehearsing and everything, and I got in and it was like, okay, so this is who you're rehearsing with, and okay, let's go and start. And before I could even finish my first line, they were like, cut, thank you, don't call us, we'll call you.
Wow.
What did I
feel
do?
bad. Sorry.
I felt like I didn't know anything.
Wow.
But that's because I was looking at myself, I was comparing myself to the actors. Like, okay, in terms of acting, I went for this audition, look at what happened. But then, that's an opportunity
That you took.
that I took. You know, I learned so many things. I learned so many emotions. I was able to control myself in terms of being able to deliver, you know, cram and deliver, you know.
In front of the judges.
In front of
who
the
are not
judges.
smiling at you.
Yeah.
So is failure really a negative thing from all we have said so far?
You know what? I think we're just going to stop right quick, okay? Break time. Coming up shortly, we'll be introducing our second guest to join us in the studio, still on the topic, dealing with failure. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, guys, and I am so excited to introduce our second guest. I mean, she is 20 years old, but she's already a law graduate. She is a beauty esthetician, and she is the CEO of Mint and Amber Skincare. Her name is Ekeoma Enyinna, and I'm so happy to have you here.
Wow.
We are so happy to have
I'm
you.
so happy to have. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. Okay,
my
so we're
God.
talking about failure.
Yeah.
And I feel like it is a topic everybody except some people.
We're actually talking about if it's a negative thing. Is it a negative thing? That's where we
That's
stopped.
right. We were on that question, and just before we left, we were asking and we wanted to find out what you thought. Is failure a negative thing?
Yeah.
Why?
Because when you tell yourself I failed, you only feel bad, you only feel backward, you only feel negative. When you tell myself I tried, you only look at it like, okay, I could try again.
Yeah, I get that angle.
So what do you feel
But what
about
do you have
that?
to say?
Well, I think I actually agree with him. Like, agreeing or believing that you have failed is actually a very negative thing to actually ever think about. Like, saying you failed is something really personal. Like, you're trying to say, oh, it's about you, it's about me. Like, it's not about you, it's about the path or the way you took. So that's what I feel is negative about having that emotion like I failed.
I feel like there's positive failure and negative failure. Yeah, because I feel like if you quit after failing, then that's a negative failure. Yeah. But if you look at it as a way to do something more productive, like, okay, this didn't work out, let me try this other method, then that's a positive failure.
The thing is, like, there are healthy ways of dealing with failure and unhealthy ways, like falling into drugs or then entering into your shell and staying there, you know, and being afraid to try again.
It is hard. It is hard. Sometimes when you fail over and over again, you know, at a point in time, I felt like presenting wasn't my thing. You know, I did like 10 auditions. And each audition, you will get to the second stage, you go to the third stage. When they call you back, it's not like they didn't pick you. They will call you back for second stage. They will call you back for third stage. Then at the final stage, they want to pick 3 people out of 5, and you're not among the 3. You know, that was my greatest fear. You know, I just felt like, you know what, this is not for me. And trust me, this Moment Z audition was the easiest for me. Like, I didn't have to, they didn't have to call me back, and then you get, it was just so direct and easy. So I feel like you have to just overcome that fear of trying again, because you're going to be disappointed, you're going to be depressed, you're going to you might do all those things, use alcohol, use drugs, but the point is you bring yourself out of that situation.
I think what it is you have to be strong-willed, because if you're weak and you go into a situation, whatever you take, you're like, okay, maybe that's what's meant to happen, or okay, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But when you're strong-willed, you know, even if you see the devil in front of you, you will laugh. You know that your blood of Jesus cast the devil. So that's just how it is. You have to know how strong you are, how you will fight for what you really want.
So I guess it depends on how bad you want it.
Exactly.
Are you saying you've never had a major disappointment, or like because you all are saying now that failure is a mindset, but we all know that sometimes we feel like, yes, I have failed. So have you never had that time?
Like, I'm sure like in every month I have like a major failure.
Give us one. I just want to know a major one.
Okay, even when I started my business, I can remember then I had to rally around. I was actually begging my mom, my dad, give me capital, that kind of thing. So eventually my mom agreed to give me capital, and she gave me a lot of money. And I was so excited. I actually went and I bought so many products. I got them at a very, very, very huge cost price. And when it was time to sell them, nobody actually wanted to buy them. And I'd used all the capital I had gotten for that. So I had to start using it myself, for myself. My whole capital was lost. So I had to go again. My dad, to ask him, what is your own share? My mom was already giving me. And so like he gave me, and I now actually sat down, spoke with my sister, and I was like, okay, this is what I did wrong before. How do we go about it? And then I can remember that very night, like, because I was still in Unilag. So I went from hostels, and I think we like made so much money that night. Because we went with the right product that people actually wanted now. And like I sold so much that particular night.
So that means that your first experience was like an experiment, basically, not a failure, because then you were able to test your market, test what they want, what they want to buy.
If you're out there to actually help people and you would keep going, do you get? If your aim is actually to like do something like improve, give people better stuff. You want to help people, not just about, so you keep going. I think that's probably what made me to continue.
I'm truly inspired by what you just said. But for you, because you're forming all tough, I want to know if there is that performance that you've actually flopped in and how you recovered from it. I'm sure you want to know about that as well. Coming up shortly, he will be dissecting his gist.
You're still on to Moment Z, still on the topic dealing with failure with our guest. Now, Onyeka, you know, they have been picking on you saying that you should tell us your greatest failure. But before you do, I also want us to go around and everyone should actually share a great failure or a great failure experience in their life. So let's start with Onyeka.
You.
Okay, okay, I think I remember this time in diploma. When I was in diploma, there's the cutoff you're supposed to have, the average cutoff. But I switched course in the middle of the session. I was in one course first semester, and second semester I was in another. So my GP after the first semester was terrible.
Wow.
And I was in diploma. You have to pass diploma. So I pushed myself and God did it.
Okay.
I passed the diploma.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I also think I had the similar experience in diploma too. Like the first semester was actually really not good for me. Then the second one, I started like buckling up, reading. Though my GP wasn't, because then it was like a 4.0, I think I had a 3.3 something. They dropped the cutoff mark and I entered.
Wow.
Oh, it's a testimony.
Okay, Lisa, just share yours, because mine, I'm going to say plenty stories. So
Yeah,
just share yours.
darling. So this was my final year. Eventually, school ends, graduation happens. I don't graduate with my mates, and I still have courses. I'm on a 2-2, and then I have to do an extra semester. I think for me, it was about proving to myself that I'm actually not stupid. It's about proving to myself, if I would just open book and read, I would be all right.
I kind of feel like a failure a lot of times somehow. Because, as I said, I keep saying comparison because I feel like our minds are almost structured to compare ourselves with other people. And then I see, of course, the likes of Amanda, the likes of you, the likes of Tomike. No, I'm being honest because even with how I am, a lot of people, I've been around places where a lot of people, because we all came out of the same competition together as 6, they tend to compare our successes with one another. Do you understand? So they don't see you as an individual presenter. They see you as someone that came out of a Moment Z show with other people. So what are you doing? This other person is doing something more. That means you're not working hard. So I had a lot of people compare me to you guys. And I started feeling like I was a failure, like I wasn't doing enough. I'm still trying to deal with it by not looking at your Instagram posts too much.
Trust me, my mom will be watching like, Kalubi is talking now. Why are you quiet? I'm like, please leave me alone. But I would say one of my greatest failures is friendship. You know, I've had issues with friends all my life. You know, growing up, mixed, curly hair, everything. People just want to be friends with you for the wrong reasons. So I never really had true friends from primary school to secondary school to university. I would say now that I've left university and I'm on my own, I'm starting to sift out fake friends from real friends. And it has been hard. Sometimes you just feel alone. Because you might have a lot of people messaging you, but they're not really your friends. And you can't really share things with them. And when you are depressed and when you hit rock bottom, that's the time you actually find out that, whoa, I don't have any friends.
Wow. So sad. You made me sad right now.
Now I just feel like there's just a cloud of darkness over the set.
We need to remove it.
But like, honestly, I have to say a very big thank you to the both of you for coming today.
Thank you.
And thank you for being honest with your stories. At this time during the conversation, we like to show our results of our snooping. But I mean, it's like we got a rapper in the building. Why don't you just rap a little something for us, Bill?
Nigerian boy, Anambra State from where I hail. I tell myself, always work hard, always try to prevail. Always be in front, try to be the head and not the tail. And always look to God in through your success and even when you fail.
Okay. Yes, that's like poetry and prayer and bars. Just
Yeah, but what kind of beats do you like? Do you like the soft beats or the...
Lisa is a fish.
I'm an African man.
You
I
are
have
Afrobeat.
to move.
See the outfit. See, it's actually quite cool because he's wearing trousers.
But do you wear English wear or this is how you dress all the time?
This is how I dress.
You're Afrocentric or...
Yeah.
Oh, can I just see another
Why are you all gushing over him? I don't understand.
Because I actually know him.
Oh,
like my
see.
school son or
I'm like,
something.
all this farming, you know?
But anyway, we have to go now. Thank you both so much for coming.
Thank you.
It's been an amazing conversation.
I love myself so much.
Coming up shortly, we'll see Kemi talking to our young entrepreneurs in Young and Budding. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Young and Budding. I am your host, Kemi Ademi, and today we're interviewing a young fashion designer who's been killing it on the runway. Her name is Destiny Nwadiri. All right, guys, so I'm here with Destiny. Hi.
Hi.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling quite excited.
How did this all begin for you?
Well, it started from quite a young age because I basically got all my inspiration from my mom, because she, when I was young, she used to make a lot of like clothes for me. So it started from a very young age, I'd say.
Why did you decide to follow in your mom's footsteps?
I've always like loved to express myself through fashion sort of thing. So when we started talking about a possibility of like a younger line, I just thought, okay, let me just try it.
So where do you gain your inspiration from?
Each year is quite different, but this year it was Afro-neoplasticism, which is the combination of lines such as like squares and rectangles, simple shapes kind of thing, and also the combination of the colours red, yellow, blue, white, black, and we incorporated beige this year. So yeah.
How deeply invested are you in the entire process? Do you just design the clothes, or are you with them while they're being made? Give us the juice.
I'm currently studying abroad, so obviously I can't physically be here all the time, but I'm constantly communicating with my mom. I try to be as much a part of the process as I possibly can.
What's your favorite thing about this?
On the day when we go out and we finally show all our pieces, it's really like relieving. It's like a dream, but it's finally coming true, so yeah, it's great.
Have you encountered any instances where you feel like giving up or failures in any sense?
Failure is a part of, success. So yes, I've definitely been like in that whole sort of like slump, but my mum has been very supportive, also my dad, my whole family, and also the whole Iconic Humanity team.
There are many young kids who are trying to come up the path of fashion. What advice would you like to give them?
I would definitely tell them, just, even if you feel like you have a small, like a little burst of hope, like you feel like you want to do something with your life, or you want to try something new, just go for it.
What tips could you give other people who are considering, dropping out of school to chase their dreams because the opportunity came?
My advice to children who would, consider doing that, just put your priorities, in like a list. Just try your best to balance both. There's loads of like platforms online like that help with children that are like building up their businesses and things like that. Do a bit of like research and stuff before you feel to like completely drop out.
What's your social media handle?
Oh, it's DNA_by Iconic in Vanity. Yeah.
All right, so you guys go check her out, and it's back to you guys in the studio.
So that was Kemi talking to some young entrepreneurs in Young and Budding. Coming up, we'll be wrapping up the show in a nutshell. Now it's time for us to wrap up the show in a nutshell. But first, the results of the online poll that we ran.
Is failure really a negative thing?
Depends on the situation.
It does.
50%.
It does.
Negative as hell, 19.
I don't agree, because I feel no matter the situation, failure would always have a positive outcome in the end. Even if it's a lesson that you have learned that would help you not make that same mistake again, or that would not make you fail again. It is still a lesson. So in the end, it is still positive. Yeah.
For me, I would say have a healthy fear of failure, because failure is inevitable. You are going to fail at some point in time or the other. So have a healthy fear of it. I know that's going to happen, and make contingency plans, to solve that issue. And then when you're failing, fail forward. Fail and know that, okay, I'm going to move to another level. I'm not going to go backwards. So that's it for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like for me, in a nutshell, like with what I shared about school and stuff, I know how much of an embarrassing thing that was, but I can't even know how determined I am in this life. I will share my story. But the entire point of me sharing my story and it being something that is worth anything to anyone is me being that person that's like up there. Like we talk about Meryl Streep, like, oh, she went to that audition. Do you understand? I have to get to that point. So I know, man, I have somewhere to go. So that my failure will not be for nothing. So other lives can be blessed. That's the point.
If there's one thing I would just add before we close, I would just say, do not let your failure fuel your insecurities. So a lot of people, once they fail, they become so insecure about it, and then it becomes an issue to them, even bigger than what they failed at in the first place. But yeah, I guess the show went well.
Yes, it did.
I would say.
Yes. I really enjoyed today's show, guys.
Me too. Learned a lot.
Well, we have to go today, but we know that there's probably something that you're insecure about, especially something that you have failed at, and you're trying so hard to recover from. Feel free to slide into the Moment Z DM, so you will see our Instagram handle. So just slide into the DM and let's have a little chit chat, And of course, we have this campaign where we're saying drugs not hot. It is never cool to do drugs. So bye guys, and until another time, don't forget that everyone deserves a moment, so go get yours.